A woman in Missouri has been accused of spiking her husband's Mountain Dew with a Roundup weed killer, all because he wasn't excited enough about his 50th birthday bash. Michelle Peters, age 47, is facing first-degree domestic assault and armed criminal action charges. Investigators state that Peters added the Roundup weed killer to her husband's Mountain Dew drink several times in May and in June. They claim that she also used insecticide to poison the beverages. Peters' husband reportedly began feeling ill and started to suspect something might be wrong with the drinks. That prompted the man to take a look at surveillance footage from inside of the home, at which point he saw Mrs. Peters take one of his sodas from his refrigerator in their garage just before she grabbed a bottle of Roundup and walked outside. The victim told police that he believed that his wife tampered with his drinks because he was not showing enough excitement over his 50th birthday party she had planned for him. He also reportedly told investigators he thought she was chasing his $500,000 life insurance policy. Peters was questioned by the Laclede County Sheriff's Office on June 24th. She reportedly denied tampering with his drinks. When police asked her why she had been spotted on video grabbing her husband's Mountain Dew in one hand and Roundup in the other, she reportedly claimed that she was creating a weed-killing agent that she saw on Pinterest by combining the soda and the lawn chemicals. She eventually admitted to putting insecticide inside of her husband's Mountain Dew bottles. Peters conceded that she was trying to be mean in the court records, confirming that she was feeling underappreciated after planning her husband's 50th birthday. She reportedly told detectives that, quote, she should have just divorced her husband, calling him selfish and noting that they had been having relationship issues. One of the chemicals found in Roundup can cause burns, mouth, throat pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and potentially death if consumed. Peters was booked by deputies and has pled not guilty. She is being held at the Laclede County Detention Center without bond. Her next court appearance is scheduled for July 2nd. So this isn't my first time dealing with a story like this. And again, the man stated that he has a $500,000 life insurance policy that he felt that she was going after. More than likely she was. On top of the fact that, quote unquote, she was feeling ungrateful, right? Never mind you how many times he may have been grateful to her when it dealt with life, her being there, taking care of him, cooking, cleaning, all of those things. She wants to only just focus on this one thing as if it's the largest problem in the world. But there was another story that I did about last year where there was an elderly man who came into some inheritance, some millions, and the wife or the girlfriend during the time did the exact same thing. She decided that she wanted to poison him, and inevitably he lost his life. And she told the son, his eldest son, that, hey, I'm sorry that it happened this way, but we'll split the money, because she thought that in her state that the money was going to go to her because she was the significant other. She was the girlfriend, right? She thought that whatever, he left over, it was going to go directly to her. But obviously that's not how that works. It's going to go to the next person in line, which if he has a child, which he does, which is his son, the money was going to go to him, right? So she, in a sense, took out the guy that she was with for money that wasn't even hers. But she felt as though it was owed to her, which makes no type of sense at all. Again, this is an inheritance. This has to do with a bloodline. This has zero to do with you. Regardless of if he was with you or not, he was still going to sit up there and get that money. It wasn't up to you to determine who was going to get the money or who's not going to sit up there and get that money. So now you have a young man who has to deal with that inheritance, that responsibility, and the fact that he no longer has his father in his life, right? So again, here we are. We're back at it with stories that people don't want to focus in and talk about. Everybody always wants to make it seem as though that, oh, it's always the men, they're the problem. It's the men that's always, doing these types of things, always wants to inevitably take people's lives and do this and do that and yada, yada, yada. But yet you see women daily doing this, especially if the guy has money. If it's an ordinary dude and he just stumbled upon some money, either winning the lottery or he got an inheritance, women, or he may have an insurance policy. They'll decide, well, I'm not really doing nothing in life. I don't really feel like working. I'm not about to go back and get an education. I'm not about to build nothing for myself. So I'm just going to plot and wait, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to take him out so we can take that money. Like I said, this is what you're looking at. This is what you're looking at. And this is not me making up anything. Anybody can clearly look up any of these stories at all to see if it's factually based or whatnot, however, because a lot of people like to say, oh, it's fake news, it's fake news. These things aren't actually happening. It's a psyop, it's this, it's that. No, these are things that's been happening historically. This is how a lot of women got kingdoms. So it ain't no psyop. If it was a psyop, then they've been running this for thousands of years. Thousands of years, right? So again, so for the men out there, be careful, because you never know who it is that you might be dealing with, and especially if that person knows that there is some money sitting there, and they're just looking at you, waiting for you to get sick, or they're just waiting for an opportune time where they can bring down your defenses and just go directly after. It's like, oh, this is the perfect time to go for that money. Wow, let me give you some roundup. It's crazy. It is crazy out here. So, like I said before, men, stay safe.